Hello and welcome back to 365 Days with mxmtoon. I'm Maia, a singer, songwriter, video maker, Oakland native, and strong believer in the impending apocalypse. I'm also a huge history nerd. I love untold stories, gross facts, hidden secrets, and anything weird, dark, or funky from the past. Each day, I'm going to share one of my favorite deep cuts with you. So let's take a look back at today's date.
It's 365 with mxmtoon. New facts every day, so don't leave too soon. I'm gonna teach you stuff, no it won't be tough. Gonna go a year till you've had enough. It's 365 mxmtoon.
These days, everything seems apocalyptic. Even if we've apparently missed the Mayan apocalypse, they predicted the world would end on December 21st, 2012, and I guess we're still here. Things feel kind of fraught at the moment, but the world just feels like it's ending. On September 29th, 2004, it came pretty close to actually ending when the asteroid 4179 Toutatis came within 4 lunar distances of Earth. But let's back up. The asteroid was actually first spotted in 1934, but it wasn't seen again until 1989 when a French astronomer named Christian Pola saw it at the observatory of the Côte d'Azur à Cassoul. Pola named it Toutatis, after a Celtic god known as a great protector. Unfortunately, 4179 Toutatis isn't a protector so much as it's an occasional cause for concern, which actually makes sense considering Toutatis' other origin. He's one of the 2 characters in the French animated series, pardon my French, Les Aventures de Astérix, about 2 Gaulish gods living in 50 BC. Gauls, for reference, were Celtic tribes in Europe around the Roman era. The only thing the gods feared was the sky falling on their heads, hence the asteroid. Since this object is the Apollo object with the smallest inclination known, it is a good candidate to fall on our heads one of these days, Paulos wrote when he discovered it. Scientists say the asteroid, which is the size of a large mountain, has a chaotic orbit, which, honestly, same. But in asteroid terms, that means that it's hard to predict exactly where and how close the asteroid will come towards Earth. And on some occasions, Toutatis has come extremely close, so much so that scientists say it is potentially hazardous. Not sure how I feel about that. Like other potentially hazardous events, for example, the US presidential elections, 4179 Toutatis approaches Earth every 4 years. It's come pretty close at times. In 1992, scientists say it came within 9 lunar distances, as in 9 times the distance from the Earth to the Moon. In 1996, it came within 14 lunar distances, and in 2004, it approached at its closest yet, only 4 times the distance from the Earth to the Moon. Granted, that isn't close. The Moon is about 240,000 miles from Earth, and even on a spacecraft, it takes 3 days to travel there. But if a big enough asteroid flies just close enough to Earth to get pulled into our gravitational orbit, so within 8 million kilometers of it, it could collide with our planet and create a major, catastrophic event. How catastrophic, you ask? Well, remember the dinosaurs? Have you met any recently? Yeah. Anyway, back to 2004. At the time, there was some concern that the asteroid would actually hit Earth. Not by scientists, but by people who like to flood their friends' and family's inboxes with chain emails. A chain email started circulating that claimed Toutatis had a 63% chance of hitting Earth on its approach that year, even though in reality, the percentage was about 0. Needless to say, we're all still here, so that collision did not happen. In fact, despite Toutatis' potentially hazard classification, it'll probably be a couple years before we have to worry about it hitting Earth. And by a couple of years, I mean like a couple 100 years. Scientists have Toutatis' course charted out pretty far in advance at this point. Researchers believe Toutatis has no chance of hitting Earth in the next 400 years, which, at the rate we're going, we'll be lucky if we even make it that far without an asteroid speeding up destruction. Of course, even if Toutatis isn't our killer, there are other asteroids out there who might do the job. Consider, for instance, the asteroid 2019 GC6, which came within a mere 219,000 kilometers of Earth on April 19th, 2019. That's only about half a lunar distance away, and scientists describe that one as too close for comfort. In July 2019, an asteroid called 2019 OK freaked scientists out when it came within 65,000 kilometers of Earth's surface, even though it was only spotted about 24 hours before it made its closest approach. This means that scientists were completely caught by surprise and would not have had time to prepare for a collision, whose blast wave could have created localized devastation to an area roughly 50 miles across, according to a NASA statement at the time. 2019 sure had some close calls. Maybe we should have taken that as a sign? As for Toutatis, scientists say the next time it'll come close to Earth won't be until 2069, when it'll approach our planet at a fairly close 8 lunar distances. If, we make it till then. There's always the possibility the Mayans were just off by a decade or two. And now for the fun music fact of the day. On this date in 2007, a major music beef hit its apex when 50 Cent's album Curtis got beaten out by Kanye West's Graduation and First Week sales. Granted, this beef was much more playful than serious, but there were some stakes. 50 Cent's album was scheduled to drop on September 11th, and Kanye was supposed to drop his a week later, but he bumped up the release so he and 50 Cent could go head-to-head as hip-hop's then reigning kings. This was a great marketing strategy. Rolling Stone ran a double cover story. They did a joint appearance on BET's 106 in Park, and they helped put hip-hop back in the national spotlight, with music fans across genres waiting to see whose album sales would top the others. 50 Cent went so far as to declare he'd retire from making music if Kanye West outsold him. In the end, Graduation clocked in at 957,000 units, and Curtis only sold 691,000. 50 Cent didn't retire, though, and in the end, everyone kind of won. And now for our final segment of the day, I'm going to take a look at my photo archives to see what I was up to on a September 29th in my life. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I do have something that might be kind of interesting for people. So on September 29th, 2016, I made the decision earlier in 2016 to pick up the cello after taking a 3-year hiatus from learning from the instrument. And I was not very good at the cello when I went back to pick it up. So I would try and practice a lot and would take videos of myself to kind of record my progress. But on the 29th, I guess I recorded a video of myself playing. And I haven't even listened to this beforehand, but I'm curious to know how bad it is. You got it, dude. You got it, dude. You know what? That actually doesn't sound half bad. I don't think I could play it nowadays because it's been a very long time since I've picked up the cello, but, props to Maia for going back to an instrument she wanted to learn and just going for it, head first. Good for her. Good for her. And that's all for today's episode. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you tomorrow. Be sure to subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts and follow along at 365 Days mxmtoon on all platforms. And I'll talk to you tomorrow.
It's 365 with mxmtoon. New facts every day, so don't leave too soon. I'm gonna teach you stuff, no it won't be tough. Gonna go a year till you've had enough. It's 360